Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
I've never done this before. I'm trying to do it on my computer and my phone, so I was trying to see which one came up first. I guess I'll just use my phone. Do you use your phone?
I have it on the computer.
Okay.
But you can do either.
Okay, let me see here.
It doesn't really matter. Hey, I'll be right back. I'm going to grab my phone, actually, in case somebody texts. I'm having trouble. Be right back. What is going on? Hey, Sarah.
Hey.
What's up?
What you doing?
This is maybe it's just everybody joining. See, it keeps pausing up. I'm using Mandys' link. So it says I'm Mandy Adney.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. I don't know how to change that. She taught me how, but I'm not very tech savvy. I forgot.
You say that all the time, but you really are.
No, I'm really not.
I know. Meanwhile, she's pumping out Google Docs like it's no big deal. And I'm like, I can't even edit this thing.
Hey, it's taken many frustrating hours screaming at a computer to learn Google Drive. And I still can't figure it out sometimes, and I call Mandy, what am I supposed to do? Or I just tell her to do it for me. Recently, after my Gmail got hacked, I just couldn't even figure it out. Ours both got hacked the same way, and I just kind of ignored it forever. And I just started a new one, was forget it. She finally, went in there and, cleaned it up for me. Spent, 6 hours. Now all my email, has all these labels and goes to all these special places. I have no idea how she did it. No idea. She did it for me. Nice. She was tired of hearing me complain about it. She was like, what's your password? Let me do this. Hey, Natalie.
Hey.
What's up?
Oh, I'm just chopping vegetables, reset.
Oh, yeah. It's going good, though, right?
It's going really good.
What day are you on?
Amazing. 14.
Oh, man. Good job.
Yeah.
Good. I'm excited. Sarah and I are going to do it together sometime. Sarah, she's making the face. Maybe we're not. Maybe she's not doing it with me.
What is it? It keeps freezing. It keeps in and out, and I'm like.
I know it is doing that. I don't know why. It's choppy tonight. Maybe it'll fix.
Okay, it's better now. But
yeah.
I couldn't hear anything.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay. It's already recording us. That's cool.
I'm sure people get a lot out of that.
Yeah. Well, Mandy told me it automatically recorded. But anyway. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Whoever else jumps on can jump on. So I want to introduce to you guys Kate. Kate, this is the first time that she's on the call with us. So Kate, is a new coach on our team. She's under Hillary, and then under Hillary, Mary Ruth, and then there's Kate. So, so that's kind of where Kate is. So Kate, welcome to our team call. Some nights these are super crowded. Sometimes they're not. They're always recorded, but they're always hopefully valuable to everybody. I always enjoy getting on and seeing everybody and getting away from my kids. There's Allison. So anyway, so I am going to let Sara take over the call. So everybody on here probably knows Sara by now. So Sara, you signed on as a coach in April?
Yeah, April.
Yeah, April. So Sara just finished this month, today, her 3 months as a coach. Sara's an Emerald coach. She's now, as of today, officially a Success Starter. So most of you guys know what that is, but that's a big deal. So she hit Success Club 5, at least Success Club 5 in the first 3 months as a coach. And so she has, as of today, officially earned her free ticket to Summit to go to Indianapolis next year. So that is awesome because that's like a $200 ticket. So it's exciting stuff. So you should be proud, Sara. But anyway, you know, I've been coaching for 2 years now, and sometimes I think, even though it doesn't seem like I've been coaching for very long, but sometimes I just think this business has evolved a lot. It's really good for people just hear from different people's perspectives. And this business has changed a lot since now that Sara entered compared to when I entered 2 years ago. So I wanted Sara to come on and give her best tips, best practices, the things that she's done to have success so far in this business. And I know I'll learn something from Sara. Sara and I talk often, and I always love hearing her insight on things, and I ask for her feedback often. And so I know that you guys will learn something from Sara too. So no pressure, Sara.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm really thankful that Sara agreed to do the call. You know, I know it's nerve-wracking, but she'll be doing this all the time for she knows it. So, all right, I'm going to mute everyone else so we don't get any feedback, including myself, and take off, Sara.
Okay. How do I see how much time I have? Does it say ever? You just tell me when I'm.
We're on Mandys, so we don't have a time limit today. So I'm sure you won't.
Buckle up, everybody. You're gonna be here all night. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Okay, I'm ready. Are you ready? Okay. Okay. So new coach. I'm a new coach. I don't really have a method to my madness, or thought I didn't until I sat down and wrote it all down. And just kind of looked at what it looked like to even go back and think about what it was like 3 months ago, other than that I felt super overwhelmed at first and super anxious and not really sure how things would kick off or how I would even get this ball rolling. But after lots of sit downs with Keisha and her telling me I was overthinking a lot of things, I was able to kind of look at what it even looks like to get started as a coach. So I started off probably with my first, I'm a very big type A person. I make lots of lists. So I sat down one day and just decided, okay, what do I want it to look like when people come to, or when people think of Sara as a person? What do I want them to know about me? Do I want to just be presented as a Beachbody coach, or do I want it to be more of like more of like a life mentor kind of person versus just like a Beachbody health and fitness coach? And so, because I'd seen a lot of Beachbody coaches in the past, and I wanted to stay as far away from what they were, because I just couldn't do the whole Beachbody thing. So I thought I would start with what I knew about myself. So I made a list about things about myself. So I have told both of my coaches that are now on my team to start with, just make a list about yourself. What do you like to do? What's something that if someone was going to sit down and interview you that you would want them to know about you? So I made my list, and it included things from coffee lover to perfectionist, to working wife, to control freak, all of those things about me that I felt like were most important, and I wrote them all down. And then I moved on to what are some things that I love? Like, what is something that I feel like if someone asked me what were my favorite things to do, not my husband's favorite things to do, but what were my favorite things to do? And then I wrote them all down. And then I also asked myself, what do I not like? What do I not like about life in general? So I don't like frogs. I can be very generic. I don't like ketchup, but I also don't like pushy people or complainers, or people who can't figure things out by themselves. Stressful situations, all those things. I wrote all those down. And then the last thing I wrote down was what is something that I struggle with. So I wrote down all my struggles like anxiety, insecurities, negative self-talk. I like to compare myself to other people. And so it's kind of like I was doing avatar training before I knew I was doing avatar training. And so I wrote all these down and basically looked at it and was like, okay, this is who I want to talk to as a life mentor and fitness coach. I want to talk to this person. I don't care if they're 20 years old or if they're 55. If there's my people, then they're my people. So after looking at my list, I could tell that this was going to be my ideal customer. And this is who I target when I talk to in my own voice on social media is this person. Like I talk to my old self pretty much. And it just so happens there's about 50 billion people who are a lot like me and struggle with life. And then the people who don't admit they struggle are fake people. And I don't want to attract those people. So that's what I have told everybody basically to start with. So it's pretty much avatar training, but it's less intimidating and it's a smaller list. It's a smaller list. And I use this list to post about. So I know I like coffee, so I post about coffee a lot. I like to be in my garden, so I post about my garden a lot. And it seems to get a lot of responses. Let's see. The next thing that I kind of went on to talk about with my new coaches is that that their demographic is not going to be the same as mine, even though all the coaches are on my team are 20 somethings and we're newly married. We all have different things that we struggle with and different things that are probably necessarily not things that that we would have in common. Our personalities are different. And so we pretty much like to keep things way, way different. So it's a lot like me and Keisha. I compare me and Keisha and Sheena all the time to each other because we're super good at what we do. But if I tried to be like Sheena or Keisha, it would just flop, and vice versa. Like it just wouldn't work out. So I try to tell everybody that I talk to about this is that you kind of have to be your own self, and you have to figure out what it is that you are and what voice you're going to talk to and who you're talking to in that voice. Because if you're talking, like if I talk to my mom and the voice that I use on Facebook, she's not going to be able to tell that I'm any different. Like she's going to be like, oh yeah, there's Sarah, she's being stupid. Like it's just, that's how I am. And that's how I feel like if you're a new coach and you're trying to figure out who you are and what you're posting about and who you're talking to, you just have to, like, sometimes when I'm about to post something, I just be like, and then I just do it. And I'm just like, I don't like that. I'm just being so real, but it seems to do really well. So I'll tell you guys about the one time my husband didn't pick up his laundry because people seem to love that story. So anyways, basically, long story short, know who you're talking to, know what you're talking about, and be yourself. Another huge thing that was a big anxiety for me as a new coach was telling people that I was a Beachbody coach. I was very hesitant to use the words coach because it came up all over my news feed, and that's probably something that the new people understand more than people who have been in it for a while, because we're coming in not on the ground level. And so we've seen people make it a lot harder to be trusted in this business, because it's a money game for some people. It's let me sell as much Shakeology as I can, and not really try to make a difference. And I feel like our team's totally different than that, in the fact of we put more focus on people and what's going on in their heart and in their minds and in their bodies than we actually do trying to push a sale. So that's why I was really drawn to our team in general, is because so far everyone I've met on our team is never, we have goals, but they're never goals of like being, they're never financial goals. It's just an added benefit. Everyone on this team is here to help people, whether it be with their weight loss journey or in their heart and in their mind and in their soul. So announcing that I was a coach came differently than what I had originally thought in my mind, because it had been so slandered in the past by Beachbody coaches. So again, I wanted to do it differently, and I didn't want it to be a selfie of me holding Shakeology and then holding an 8-pound weight in the other hand and smiling like this is the best 21 days of my life. It was more of like I didn't tell anybody I was a coach for 30 days. Like I jumped in. My husband ended up filling out the form for me because I was too chicken to do it in the first place. And then I did the whole 21-day fix for 30 days and didn't tell anybody that I was even doing that. But throughout the journey of that transforming not only my body, but also my mindset, I got to the point where I just didn't care what people thought. And that's what I tell a lot of my potential coaches is like, eventually you're going to have to get to a point where you don't really freaking care what anybody thinks, because you're going to have that switch that goes off in your head where this has been too good for me to not share, and it's selfish of me not to tell people about how I'm being helped. And it's more than just I'm becoming healthier, or I'm eating better or cleaner or whatever. It's I have a community of people who love the heck out of me and want to see me grow into a better person. And that just so happens to include like awesome benefits such as Shakeology, Beachbody workouts, losing weight, eating properly, and all of those things. So announcing that you're a coach is really more of a change in you than it is for you to just tell people what you're doing in life. Like we don't have a problem changing that we got a new job on Facebook. We don't have a problem doing that. But for some reason, we have it built up in our head that people are going to think so much crap about us if we join this phenomenon or whatever. But in reality, we just have to stop giving a crap and just do it, because I remember sending Keisha because again, I'm an overthinker. I had kept a blog of my 21-day fix journey, and I remember sending it to Keisha and like have her proofread it and like read over it again. We read over it again. Are you sure? Are you sure? And then finally it was just like, I don't really care what Keisha, if she doesn't, I don't care. Why do I care what Keisha has to say? So I ended up just posting the blog, and at the very bottom I said I was a Beachbody coach, and then I hit Success Club 10 in 3 days, and it was mind-blowing and reassuring, and it was all, honestly, I feel like because I stuck true to who I was. Not very many people announce their Beachbody coach through blog posts, but I write blogs, and that's who I am, and people received that well because I was sticking true to who I was instead of trying to be a Keisha or Sheena, and their things work for them, but the people that I'm trying to target, it's different. It's just different. So I don't know. I try to keep balance a lot. I like the 80-20 rule. Like I only post maybe 20% of the time about my health and fitness journey, and 80% of the time is most of it my life, like my husband, my dogs. I don't have any kids, so I get to basically post about whatever I want to. And so the 80-20 rule is super helpful, and just trying different things. If posting with Shakeology works for you, then I say do it. People like that, do it, try it. If they don't like it, delete it real quick and then don't do it again. So I don't know. Lastly, I would say the biggest part of being able to hit Success Club every month is because I've been less worried about making the sale and more worried about forming relationships with people. Super huge and important to me to not seem salesy. It's more of people want to be heard. Everybody wants to be heard, whether that's with their weight loss journey or even just they're struggling in general with whatever. Everybody's struggling. They just want to talk about it. So it's been super eye-opening for me to take the extra time instead of using scripts are helpful, but taking time to actually read people's responses to donuts or read people's responses to reaching out to my post or whatever, and being able to relate to them on some level. Like I might not have ever struggled with depression, but you better believe I'm going to say I'm there for them regardless of what's going on in their life, because I don't want anybody on my team to feel like they can't be a part of this team for a lifetime, or that they can't trust me with their life problems. And no, I'm not a therapist, but I can be a friend to anybody. So that's what I think helps me make the most out of this coaching deal, is that it's less of a sale and it's more of a relationship. And it's a friendship, and I make people feel 100% comfortable. And all I do is ask them, like, well, how's life going? Catch me up. And then people just like throw up on you, like, because no one's asking them. I mean, think about it. No, who's asked you today how you're doing besides your husband, maybe? People don't take time anymore, and everybody's trying to sell something, whether it be Beachbody, Shakeology, Rodana Builds, Advocare. Everybody's selling something. So we have to back away kind of from the sales pitch and be more relational so people can trust you. It's all about building up trust. So I don't know, that's what I've learned, and it seems to be working. It seems to get me some Success Club points at least a couple of times a month, and it usually happens at the beginning of the month, so I just cruise on into the next month like it ain't no thing. So, questions? Anyone got questions?
All right, loved it. So I took notes, and I have a few things that I just wanted to point out, and then we'll see if anybody else has anything to add. So I really liked that from the beginning, Sara just really took it that she admitted she's an overthinker, and she did. I sent her the form, and she basically told me, hey, I want to coach on your team. I never pressured her. It was like a total God thing, the way we connected. And she told me, like, hey, I want to be on your team. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I'll send her the thing. And then it was like, 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know. And I was like, oh, hey, I didn't want to pressure her. But so finally she did the darn thing, like she said. And so an overthinker from the beginning. But I think a big point from her first point was she just really looked at herself and like, what do I want myself to look like as a coach? And that was something that I did too in the beginning, because I also really can't stand salesy stuff, hashtag Beachbody Coach, hashtag Shakeology, 21 Day Fix, all of that kind of stuff, because that doesn't make you stand out. Now, not to say I didn't make some of those mistakes in the beginning, because I did. I knew that I wanted to be different, but I also just didn't know what to do. And so you kind of just fall into the trap of doing some of that stuff. And then I don't know what's happening right now. I'm getting an alert. Oh, crap. Okay. Hopefully that's no. If you like to, hold on. Can y'all still see me and hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. It's, I think Mandy's like logged on from somewhere. So anyway, so I think like that's just a big important part is to know what you want to be different than. If there's a lot of people in your newsfeed filling it up with Beachbody, Shakeology, all those hashtags, whatever, know that they just blend in. They don't stand out, and you want to stand out. And I think what's really important and the focus that Sara took was she made a list of everything she wanted about herself, like who she was and who she wanted to portray. I think that's so important because just because you become a Beachbody coach doesn't change who you are, right? It's not like this new, like, I don't know. I think we just put this new label on ourselves and kind of forget who we are and like who we would attract. Like, I know I personally, and I use Roden & Field's face wash, but I don't like normally go down through and like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, because you posted this sale, I'm going to click on it and buy. No, like maybe some people do, and that's nothing wrong with that, but I don't. And so the people that, you know, I attract are not going to do that either. So I'm not posting Shift Shop Chris Downing. Nobody that follows me gives a crap about Shift Shop Chris Downing. Okay. So I think it's just important, but for some people it may. So I think it's just really important to figure out who you are, who you're going to attract, and then go from there. And so really, like Sara said, she was doing an avatar training, but wasn't even thinking about it. But making that list, Sara was like, Keisha, I don't post on social media, and you're telling me I need to post every day? No. And so that gave her something. I'm like, just start small, post a couple times this week, and then just go from there. You'll finally find your groove, right? So Sara still doesn't maybe post every day, but she's working her way up. It's becoming easier, but that's what Sara's avatar maybe wants and needs. And so I think that's important. And I really liked how she just really focused on who she is and then putting that out there. And I think that's a really, really cool piece in this business is that this business really promotes you to dig deep and figure out who the flip you are. I mean, and what other business does that, right? I mean, that's why there's been so much personal growth on my end. I mean, I know, you know, my profession as a physical therapist, even though I enjoy it, the school I work for isn't like, Keisha, dig deep and figure out who you are. They're like, no, let's see if you can see 10 more kids today. Okay, that'd be great. So I think that's a really unique thing about this company and our team is really growing yourself, working on yourself so that you can give more and be more for more people, be better in our everyday lives. So I just think that's really cool. I love that Sara hesitated to use the word coach. That was hard for me at first too. It's not for me now, but you will notice, you will never, ever, ever, ever. It's my avatar, not that it's wrong, but you don't see anywhere on my page anything Beachbody. Not because I'm ashamed, but it's because my avatar runs from that. They're cool with it when I'm talking one-on-one and I get them there. And most of them have picked up that I'm a Beachbody coach before we start chatting. And they know when we start chatting, I'm super, super passionate about Beachbody. But I don't want to be prejudged because my avatar prejudges because I'm a prejudger. And I'm like, ooh, Beachbody, no. So I can't put that out on my page. Again, figuring out who you're talking to, who your brand is. 80-20 rule for posting, I think that's important. Again, some people's avatar loves fitness. Sheena's avatar loves fitness. Mandy's avatar loves fitness. My avatar hates to work out. So they don't care about my sweaty selfie. So finding, again, who you're talking to. And then when Sara was talking about her relationships, just forming relationships with people and relating to them and listening to them and putting the sale out of your mind. It is important to get to the sale. It is important to offer them what has worked for you, though. That's the key. It's not like, oh, this is a product to get in. It's, listen, I'm relating to your story. I know where you are. I was here. Let me share with you what helped me to get on the path to start changing my life. And it included this. That's way more powerful than this is on sale. Let's jump on it. Right? Okay. And like she said, everyone is selling something. There's tons of Beachbody coaches out there, tons of successful ones, tons of non-successful ones that pretend to be super successful, and tons of people have no freaking clue what they're doing. But it's just all about you figuring out who you want to be, what you want to represent, and then just finding the people that's going to get you, right? So who has something else to say or add?
I will. So again, I just want to piggyback on what she said about, kind of announcing that you're a coach, kind of like having that hesitation. I think it's because coach comes with this like pressure and this stigma, and you feel like you need to be like a professional or have a certificate or be certified and like to like coach people. Really like you don't even have to use the word coach. Like you just need to let people know and establish yourself as an authority to like, you're going to take what you've learned and your experiences and you want to help other people like you, which is why it's so important to share your story and constantly let people know that you are there for them, right? Because if we're just sharing sweaty selfies and kind of like that shallow stuff, then people aren't going to know that you're there to help them. You're there to offer them something, right? So you constantly have to build credibility on your page and build credibility through your posts to let people know like, hey, well, you know what? I saw Sarah posting about this last week. So you know what? I'm going to reach out to her because she's an authority and she doesn't even have to be a coach, you know, like it was easy for me to be coach because I coached before, like I was a CrossFit coach and trainer and like, so coach was just like a natural word for me to use. But I know for a lot of people, like that's not even like in their, realm of thought. So I think, like I said, the most important thing other than just announcing your coach is just announcing that you are there to help people. You want to motivate people. You want to inspire people. You want people to live their best, healthiest, happiest lives. Just making sure that you're constantly putting that message out there so people know to come to you.
Can y'all hear my screaming kids?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
I forgot I wasn't muted. Sorry, Sheena. Yeah, they're like having a wrestling match upstairs. Anyway. Okay. All right. Does anybody else have anything to add or any questions for Sarah? Well, thanks, Sarah, for hosting the call. I know it was your first time. We really appreciate it, and I know that I'm sure everyone took something good from that. If you can hear me, I wanted to introduce something really quick before we jump off. I'm going to post this in the coaching group. I'll post it in the big one, Divine Legacy one. But Mandys talked about the business activity tracker, and I don't know if any of you guys use it. It's an awesome, awesome thing. And all the successful coaches at Summit, everyone was like, BAT, business activity tracker, blah, 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 blah. But I flipping hate the thing. I'm not going to pretend like I don't. I'm not going to act like it doesn't add value to my business because it definitely does. But there was something else introduced at Summit that I was like, oh, that's totally my thing. And so I wanted to introduce it to you guys as well because I kind of recreated it and made it, I think, a little bit more focused for our team. But it's called Win the Week. And so basically it doesn't concentrate on the daily as much and more the week as a whole. For me, that works in my business because there are days that I get to work really hard for long hours, and then there's days that I barely get the minimum in. So I would feel like a failure on the BAT on Tuesday, but then I freaking killed it on Wednesday. I would do a lot on the weekends and things like that. So since I run my business in the cracks and in spurts, the Win the Week seemed better for me, and it has these little check boxes, and I love check boxes, and less numbers and that kind of thing. So there's really no right or wrong, but I just want to introduce it to you guys too. And I really think for new coaches, it will really help give you some guidance because I also put on there things like posts. So I put like 7 lifestyle posts. So kind of what Sarah was. So shooting for getting, 7 in or, seeing how many you're getting in every week, Then I put like, 2 or 3 posts about coaching and like things like that. So it gives you somewhere to see where you are now and then things to shoot for and build for. And then it kind of goes for at the end of the week having at least 21 invites sent. So, we focus on 3 to 5 invites a day, that kind of thing, just kind of accumulating that process in to 21. So anyway, I'm going to introduce that to you guys. So print it off and use it if you want. You think it might help. I've been liking it. So I just wanted to share it with you guys. So when I post it in there, you won't be like, what is this? So maybe it'll help you too. But don't forget, for anybody that made Success Club 2 or above, Mandy's going to be posting about the mastermind call. That's going to be at 6 a.m. on Saturday. Unfortunately, Sheena is going to be snoozing at, I don't know, what is it, 2 a.m. your time?
I might be up from the night before. You never know. So she's going to try to arrange a separate, an afternoon maybe too. So.
Yes. She's going to try to have 2 different times for that call. But as of right now, it's going to be Saturday mornings at 6 a.m., 6:30, something like that. So, anyway.
Maybe you'll have your baby and you'll be awake anyways. Huh?
Yeah, I'll be feeding the baby and hey guys.
Hey, hey, it'll happen. No big deal. But yeah, so anyway, well, you all have a good night. My house is suddenly really quiet, which is weird. And I hope you all enjoyed this. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks for you all spending your night with us.
Thank
you. Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Bye guys.